And before Bobby Petrino can really go into the lab and do what he likes to do best
Hmm.
and work the X's and O's in the matchups, of course, he's been called upon, along with everybody else, to hit the recruiting trail. And you've been fairly impressed with what he's done thus far. And what have the early production been for this 2024 class? I see Anthony Maddox came into the fold here just in the last few weeks.
Yeah, no doubt. I think people are still trying to get a feel for what he really likes as a prospect. He's been known as somebody that kind of likes those big bruising backs, and you've certainly seen some offers go out in that extent. But the early reviews have been really good, and one of the pieces of feedback when he was hired was a lot of people said, "Hey, not regarded as a guy that loves to recruit, but he'll know how to come in and call plays and run an offense." And A&M had two junior days in January, and he was very involved with both of them. He's already been out to see A&M's quarterback signee Marcel Reed on a couple of occasions as well, um, out in Mississippi. And then when you talk to kids around the junior day, one Tiger Ryden, for example, is a 2025 running back, said, "Hey, he had breakfast with me, and we had a chance to really talk and get to know each other, and didn't talk like a ton of schemes or anything like that, but really had a chance to get to know him on a personal level." And Comby Branham, who I was talking to last week, was another lineman that was in town that got the offer from Bobby Petrino and said sort of the same thing. "Hey, Bobby Petrino was around the entire time I was on my visit and really made me feel welcome. We got to talk a lot." And so, I think people were pleasantly surprised about that. And there's actually been some people that have noted on our stories, "Hey, Bobby Petrino's name seems to be getting brought up quite a bit." And so I think he's made a positive impression. He's been out there at the forefront and, working alongside Jimbo Fisher, who's obviously a very, very good recruiter. But I think he's been able to connect with a lot of people. The Anthony Maddox one was interesting. And that's a guy that, it kind of depends who you talk to and on what sort of comparison you get. But the comparison that Bobby Petrino had for AJ Maddox was Lamar Jackson, and that's obviously very, very high praise from a guy that Bobby Petrino coached to a Heisman Trophy while he was at Louisville. But A&M was kind of figuring out the board on where they were going to go at the quarterback position. Aaron Noland is a guy that they brought in for a multi-day visit. They brought in Davie Bulford for a visit, another quarterback out of Florida. Brought in, had talked to Walker White, who's now committed to Auburn, and really zeroed in on AJ Maddox. And I was told that Bobby Petrino was a key part of that on kind of getting the deal done. They love him. They think his ceiling is really high, and wanted to get him in the class, and he was definitely ready to do that.